All right, what's going on, y'all? This is Boxing Wave, and just wanted to do a quick review of the Stephen Fulton Brandon Figueroa fight. And the fight lived up to its expectations. You know, a lot of us knew that this was going to be a great fight, and it's really because of the styles. All right, both undefeated fighters, both really fresh. Figueroa throws a lot of punches. All right, one of those extremely high volume punchers that likes to smother you, has power, likes to work the body, and he's just all over you. He's a pressure fighter. And then you have Stephen Fulton, who's the more tactical fighter between the two, the quicker fighter, the guy that always works behind the jab, moves well, and a really good counter puncher, had great timing. And it made for a good fight. It was always action going on, and the fight went exactly how I thought it would go. Okay. I do believe that the fight could have definitely gone either way. As far as the scorecards, it was a majority decision win for Stephen Fulton. One judge scored it a draw, and the other two had it 116-112. I'm watching the fight. I personally thought it was a 7-round, 7-5 for Fulton for me. But I had like 5 swing rounds, and I try to score it like the way I think the judges is going to see the fight. I've been doing that pretty much for the majority of the time I had a channel. I do it that way because I understand that they're not going to see it the same way. So I'm looking at it in the view like, well, if you like what Fulton is doing with the clean punches that are landing, okay, the well-timed punches, if you like that, you're going to pick him. And I'm going like, all right, I can see them giving them this round. And then you have Figueroa, the guy that's more active. All right. There was times where he was smothering, outworking Fulton because he was crowding Fulton. And Fulton definitely held his own on the inside too. So we got to remember that Fulton at times still did a lot of great work. But Brandon's better at that type of fight. Fulton did good against Leo, but Brandon proved in this fight that he's on a different level than Leo. Angelo Leo did well against Fulton, but Brandon was even better, on the inside. But Fulton held his own. I gave it to Fulton. I prefer the clean punches. I think the rounds that I clearly gave to Figueroa is because Fulton was in the pocket for too long and fighting his fight for too long. And those are the rounds that I gave to Brandon, plus the rounds that he kind of stunned Fulton a couple times in his fight. So those are the rounds that I thought that Brandon definitely won. But for Fulton, I like what he was doing better, especially when especially when he controlled the distance and there was some space in between them. I like the way he moved. I love the way he worked his jab. I love this hand speed. And I love the way he timed Brandon coming in at times. And I like the shots that he landed too when they were in the phone booth, So I overall like his body of work. Again, people are going to complain about the scorecards. People are saying that it's a robbery because of the 8-4 cards. My thing is this. Again, there's a lot of swing rounds in there, and if the judges are giving the swing rounds to Fulton, which they did, it's based on what they like. You know what I'm saying? I still don't think that's a robbery. 8-4 fights that are close and competitive like that don't make it a robbery. It's those 117, 111 scorecards that I can't stand. All right, especially when it's a more one-sided type of fight. All right. I don't think that was a one-sided in any sense. And if they gave it to Brandon the other night, if they gave it to him, I would have been fine with it. I personally think Fulton won. But I didn't know, at the end of it all, I was sitting there waiting. I didn't know who they were going to give it to. I honestly really didn't, I thought it might have been a draw, especially after hearing the first one. I was like, oh, this is going to be a draw, but I kind of wanted them to pick somebody because I didn't want to have to deal with another rematch immediately. I don't want these guys to go straight into undisputed. We already got 2 unified champions now at this point. MJ holds the other 2 titles over there, all right? So Me personally, I don't believe, like, I know this is definitely worthy enough to have a rematch for. But I'm not one of these guys that believe that we need an immediate rematch for every single close fight. You know, it's bad enough that there's a lot of rematch clauses in most of these fights. And especially with the more popular fighters, they're always putting these rematch clauses in the contract. All right. So these fighters fight once, maybe twice a year. We don't need a rematch for every single close fight. You know, Brandon, he'll pick up a win or two and he'll be right back there. He'll be right back there. There's plenty of people to fight at 122. There's still a lot of good fighters that are at 122. You know, I personally want them to go straight into an undisputed fight if it's possible. MJ, Ahmed Ali had just won a fight like a couple of weeks ago. I just saw him fight a tough dude, a guy that was supposedly supposed to be a tune-up. The guy he fought was tough on the zone the other day. That was a really, really tough fight. So I'm looking forward to that fight because I'm looking forward to Undisputed. But I think the number one and number two dudes fought the other night on Saturday. You know, MJ, no disrespect to him. He's a good boxer. But I don't think he's better than Brandon or Stephen Fulton. You know, I think the both of them are better than him. But we'll see what happens when they really, fight. You know, that's going to be a boxing match up. And I think Stephen Fulton is a superior fighter. I mean, congratulations to him because he's improved so much, man. He's improved so much. Not that he was bad before, because he wasn't. But, man, like I said in the prediction video I did the other day, if you go back and watch him, I mean, he's so much stronger, man. He's so much stronger and he's quicker. You know, he gives me like a lightweight Shane Mosley vibe, you know. Not maybe just, it's probably because of the way he looks. You know how people say that about Haney and Floyd? He gives me that older Shane Mosley. Even the way he flicks his jab a little bit. It reminds me of Shane a little bit. But anyway, congratulations to Stephen Fulton. It was a good fight for the both of them. Figueroa still, to me, is the second best guy in the division. You know, I still think he beats anybody. You know, you got Rahman, you got Aleem. I wasn't able to watch the Aleem fight yet. I still got to watch that fight because while that fight was on, I was watching the zone card still. All right, so I still got to watch. That's the only fight that I got to watch still on that card. But yeah, I think these guys are gonna end up fighting again down the line, especially if Fulton stays at 122. You know, and pick up. You know, if he is to be undisputed and beat MJ or whoever wins that fight, I think he should still stay down at the division. There's still so many fights. There's so many fighters down there. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think Fulton definitely. I think he won the fight. I think it was I think he edged it, in my opinion. All right. Anyway, I'm out. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Like the video. Peace.